There's a unique system featuring innovative technology for preventing car thefts and carjackings. It's called the IGLA Anti-Theft System. Joining us now to discuss how it works is Jamie Flores, who handles public relations for Reflectionz Detail, where you can have the system installed. Good morning, Jamie.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yes. So talk to us about this system.
Of course. So this system itself, it's multiple options. Obviously, it's for vehicles with the push to start, as well as for your key, with regular keys. But this system itself does require a PIN to be able to turn your vehicle on. Now, with that itself, with like let's say for a push to start vehicle, you have to put in a PIN number on your steering wheel, anywhere from 4 to 22 digits, which I don't know who wants to do that many.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you put in anywhere from 4 to 22, then you're able to start the vehicle. The best part about this system is that even if they change the whole computer on the vehicle, they're not going to be able to start it. So that is a huge advantage.
Interesting. Yeah.
And with cars being stolen increases year by year. I mean, just last year we had over 10,000 cars stolen. That's a 20% increase from 2021. This year so far we're already at over 6,000. That's a 37% increase from last year, and that comes from Metro. I didn't just make those numbers up. That comes from Metro. So it's crazy. And just right next door, what is it? A 4-hour drive. We have the #1 state of stolen vehicles with over 200,000. So this right here does help you. It is, I'm not going to say 100%, but it's 99.99% effective with it. So it's a great product. It is a digital product, like I said. You need a PIN number. You get a little key fob, or with your mobile device, you have multiple options to be able to start your vehicle.
Absolutely. So I'm curious, right? So let's say, I get this system in, and then I have to go get my car serviced, or the valet has to get the car. Like, so what are the workings, I guess, around that for your day-to-day that you did?
Of course, no, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked that. So with the system itself, not only do you get a PIN number, you will also get a small key fob. It's literally maybe about that big. You put it in your cup holder, you leave it in the keys, you leave it wherever, and the car will start like normal. Okay. There's going to be no issues with it, and that's another thing that's great about it. There's no issues. There's not going to be nothing that's going to say that you need a system or whatever. So it's a great product.
Wonderful. Now, what is the difference between, like, let's say a traditional stock alarm system that comes with the vehicle, or somebody puts in a Viper system? What is the difference that this is doing to protect that from happening? I'm
glad you asked that as well. With it so this right here is a digital alarm system, or digital anti-theft. Those are more of an analog system. With those, it's very simple. Open the hood, they rip it out. There's no, nobody's gonna know. They take off with your vehicle. With this itself, it is a digital product. It's integrated into the wiring harness of your vehicle. So it does completely put a block between you, or between the computer and somebody stealing the vehicle. Completely blocks out the ODB2 sensor. So even if they plug into the vehicle, they can't change the code, they can't duplicate a key, they can't even, like I said, they can swap out the computer completely, and they're still not gonna be able to start the vehicle. So far on the West Coast, there's been over 500 of these installed, and there's only been one that failed, but it failed because it was an installer's issue. Wow, so, but other than that, luckily the vehicle did not get stolen, but they were able to get that fixed. We do have a client, has one of these on his, I want to say on his Jeep, and there's been multiple times that they try to steal it, and at this point he just laughs. Yeah. Because they've ripped out carpets, they've ripped out computers, they've ripped everything out, and still nothing.
So somebody, let's say is trying to break into the vehicle, they try to get into the car, so they can't actually take this out.
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
So with this system itself, because in our reality the system is maybe this big, and the actual size of the product, we put it within the harness of the vehicle. We don't even tell the client where it's connected.
Oh, great.
And we don't do it because it's none of your business, whatever the situation is. We just do it for the safety. You could be having a conversation with a friend, somebody else overhears that you have it connected in the glove box or wherever. They can, there's people out there that will do stuff like that.
Well, Jamie, before we go, I want to make sure you guys have a special offer for our viewers.
So right now, our offer itself, yes, still stands, which is our $6.99 for ceramic coating. But if you do swing by or give us a call for the anti-theft system, we can also give you a pretty good discount. Just tell us that you saw it here at the Morning Blend, and we'll make sure we give a discount to all of your viewers.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
For more information on Reflectionz Detail and the anti-theft system we discussed today, head to reflectionsdetail.com.